was like, wow, so let it out.
Hold on. All right. Yeah, I had to go live real quick.
All right.
Yeah, just you good. I was just saying, like, there was no way I could see this shit. I had no involvement in the community, like I said, but there's no way that I could see this shit just going, flying right up under the rug. I just felt like niggas just forgot about NGG. I was even on YouTube looking. I was like, I typed in Next Generation Gaming, and I saw nothing on YouTube about NGG. When I typed, remember we used to make the joke that you type in NGG on YouTube, and the first thing you saw was a chaos video. You remember that? Yeah, some DM video. I'm like,
guy with the Spaz 12 just fucking around.
Like, how the fuck are y'all known for role play? You type in on YouTube NGG, the first thing you see is a motherfucker DMing, which y'all supposed to be, bro.
Well, that was just it though. Like that's how it was. That was so fun.
That was the nostalgia of NGG. And the NGG had this mystique, like this mystic kind of feel to it. Like everyone low key knew this shit was a DM server. It just became a universal joke, like a running gag, bro. Like,
well, I always say like NGG's identity. It was like you had a Spaz 12 and you had your gang, and you would just kill everyone, like, and you just have TeamSpeak. You talk shit after you kill them. Like everyone would be on TeamSpeak talking mad shit. So fun. I miss that, man. It was so fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Like BBS mouthing off to Grove, fucking BHT.
See, I don't know what part of the live stream did you catch?
I watched your first one, but I haven't watched the ones after that. Like, I watched your first one, like, pretty much since full. Just you talking about, like, I don't know, like, the hacking, like, just shit like that.
Yeah.
Just how NGG was. Whereas me, like, every time I think of NGG, it's just all about BHD. I mean, I couldn't give a fuck about politics or anything like that. Years, that's not really my thing. My thing was, I was always about BHD. That's
well, you see, I had to deal with that. That's what I had to deal with. My NGG career, I had to deal with these admins down my throat all the fucking time. You feel me? So that's what I remember. Like, I mainly remember all that.
You were always the one getting dragged into like channels and shit like that.
Hell yeah! And you was the one I talked about. I didn't even know you were watching. I don't know if you were watching when I said like I tried to throw triads into your hands because I tried to throw triads into your hands. I was trying to train somebody up quickly because I knew I wasn't gonna last. I knew they was gonna be like, yo, we gotta get this motherfucker up out of here. So I'm trying to find the next Yusui real quick. Like, not the next Yusui, but really the next, like, who was the complete opposite. Because I really just wanted to DM. In my heart, that's where my heart was invested, was just running chaos and DMing. And I wasn't cut out for all that slop holder shit. I wasn't really cut out for that shit.
Like, in BHT, it was like, especially in the early days, like 2012, like those are the glory days. You'd have like the chaos group, and like you just have to let these guys go. Like chaos, like all of you, like, you know, back in the day, I would like try and politic everyone, like keep everything under wraps, keep everything like organized, tight knit. But with you guys, like Smokey, that was impossible. Something like, nah, nigga, I gotta go boot camp. I gotta train my rank one.
But that,
you know, the code of silence and shit like that. Don't get me wrong, that's gay as fuck.
That's kind of how I was. You were. I remember that shit. You used to host, like, that's why I like, you were like the opposite of me. You were like the Wu Ming kind of nigga. Like, you took that shit seriously. You tried to role play and everything. And I was more like I just wanted niggas dead. I wanted to be the brute force of BHT. I wanted to be
I think that's why we had good balance though.
yeah.
We always had like like when it came down to it, like when it comes down to GG and like gangs, it's always down like the role play is secondary in my opinion. When I look back now, it's always about winning those fights,
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
You gotta win.
You
and
got
if you don't win, you're fucking nothing. So I needed you to do that. I needed you to like have your little group of like your own little fucking division of
hooligans.
To run around and fucking solve all my problems when it came to shootouts. I always felt like I could hold my own, but I wanted to keep like shit under wraps with like the role play side of things as well because I never wanted like people saying it was like,
the way I seen it, bro.
These guys at the end, and I never wanted to be like a BDS. I always wanted to be like we have the best of both worlds. We could RP, but then we could also fuck you up if we needed to. You know? Like
it was hard to find that because I felt like BHT always had that balance before I existed, right? And I struggled with trying to find that balance. The balance that you're talking about, I remember struggling with trying to find that balance. Like, okay, I got to teach these motherfuckers to shoot because I don't want them to be no lackeys in the field because role play is all cool and dandy. But when you seen out here on YouTube getting your whole game dropped, your whole game dropped, like that does not look good. Like you sit there trying to type me commands while you getting dropped. Like get the fuck out of here, bro.
Like I said, that's the winning mentality. It was all about
winning.
It was all about winning. Like everyone wanted to win so bad. Like the thing with MTG is that everyone was so egotistical. Like
hell yeah, boy.
You know what I mean? Everybody, like, doesn't matter who you are, the little Egyptian rank 3, doesn't matter who you were.
Yeah.
You were out there to prove your point, prove to someone. Like a lot of people were at least.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I was always low key personally, but
I remember always having a lot of respect for you. I always had respect for you because I felt like deep inside, I felt like you were really the one kind of leading BHT, and I was just a slot holder.
In a lot of ways, I felt that way too. But
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're in the spotlight, I have to deal with like all these ears. So you held the spotlight. Which is great. So I didn't have to fucking deal with any of that shit. I could just focus on what's important to me.
Right.
And when the spotlight shined on you, you get people like Matt Vinci like fucking saying all that shit, and you getting a lot of fucking bother.
That shit was so stressful, bro. That shit was stressful. I ain't gonna flex.
That's because because like I remember the Matt Vinci situation like it was tomorrow. I don't know if you were around then.
What happened exactly? I was trying to figure out. I was looking at my old Matt.
Well, as far as I can remember, like we're going back now, but I remember like you were giving them, you or someone were giving them the slot, and I was like sitting there thinking, well, I'm gonna get it. But apparently, like Matt got given it. They didn't want to give me it. Like
hell yeah, I remember that shit.
Matt was playing it off really cool. Like, oh, don't worry, Larry. Like you're all the right.
That shit was so dirty, bro.
As far as I'm concerned, it's like that's cool. Exactly. This point, I still like Matt. I was cool with it.
And I think didn't we turn to find out that he went behind my back and snitched or some shit for slot holding?
Exactly.
That shit was dirty, boy.
He went to he basically was like, nah, I want that song. Do you know what I mean? But he put it out as if like, oh, I didn't know anything about it. So, I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't give a shit now. But back then, like, that was so important to me. I was like, God damn it.
Even now, I feel a way about. Even now, like, bro, what the fuck? That shit dirty as hell, boy. Like, I wonder what he would say if I confronted him. This is why I really want a panel for us to just kind of come out and talk about NGG, just no bullshit. Like, bro, like, what was that about, Matt? Like, why did you like, I don't give a fuck now. Years has passed, but why did you do that shit? Like,
it's so funny. That's one I'll always remember because then what happened was I put up a poll and I was like, oh, would you guys rather have slot me or Matt? And I got the vote, so I was like, right, okay. So I took the slot from Matt without it going or something like that. And then I think
you know what it was? I know exactly what it was. They did not want you to be leader because they knew I was still gonna be the leader. That's what it was. I think I told you that. I was like, I think what it really is they didn't want you to be the lead because they figured that I would still be the lead.
So they probably conspired with Matt.
Yeah.
It's like, how what's your relation? Like, look, I could be completely wrong.
And then Matt probably sat up there on some shit like, I don't really like the way Yasui run, trying to make it seem like, he's anti-Yasui. And he's not really fucking with me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because he knows they're not going to give Slotholder to someone who really fucks with me. So
yeah, exactly.
That was the case. That was just the case.
It was always about getting rid of you at that time. I remember you were that controversial figure. So it was always about getting rid of you.
That shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. I really like what the Chaoses did with this shit, though. Like the new Chaos, bro. I was talking about this shit on my stream. Bro, I don't have shit on them. I'll be the first one to admit. Them new Chaoses will shit on Yasui Chaos. Probably even old school Yasui, like in my prime. For real. Them niggas is ridiculous, bro. Have you seen their videos?
If there's no NGG, there's no Chaos.
I think they still exist, bro. Cause I heard Chaos was still running strong even up to the day that shit was about to die. Like
I think so too. I think the name kept itself because Petco kept playing after that. He was Chaos.
No, I think you're a little lost. It's really Jack and Steven and those Jack, Steven, Tanner, like that whole little clique.
Oh, I never knew those guys really. I know of them, but I never knew.
Just go to YouTube, type in like NGG Chaos. They even have some videos posted like 4 months ago. They still dropping videos. I think Rick released a video like a week ago of some old, yeah. You laughing at Rick, but Rick is really an OG Chaos now. Like I think he was like the leader or some shit. I don't remember, but
Rick is like, okay, well, Rick came from the gutter really because he was like this little like shut the fuck up.
That's why
Chaos, like you're never gonna be this. And he was so loyal, like
yeah, he was.
When he was down, but he'd still get back up and he'd still be like, no, I am loyal to my guy. It's correct, man. We had a lot of people like that though.
Oh, someone commented on my old stream and they said they forgot to ask me what I thought about the allegations of Devin being a pedophile. First of all, those aren't allegations. Those are 100% factual. Those are facts. It is confirmed. If you did not notice if you've been playing NGG for this long and you don't know Devin is a pedophile, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
No, it was universal throughout the community. Like
everyone knew. It was a running gag. It was like a running that was a part of the memes that used to run around NGG was Devin being a pedophile.
Yeah, like receiving dick pics from little children.
It's so weird. How did we this is why I feel like we normalized it. Like it was just normal. Like, yeah, like this guy is just like
you start to realize
I'm 23 now, so I'm like, nigga, I was fucking 12 I was 13, 14 years old, running in a community with these grown motherfuckers siphoning dick pics out of little kids in exchange for server moderator and admin. If that isn't the most, and how did this nigga Devin never go to court for this? Like, we know players get banned, right? And every time a nigga get banned, the first thing they say is, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to court, Devin."
like NGG was its own entity. Like I never played anything like this. Like this is I was amazed.
That shit was like every time.
As well was like there would be like the occasional maybe every 6 months, once every 4 to 6 months, you get like an image pop up, like it starts ciphering around the TeamSpeak forums of this guy with his dick out and like
yeah, everyone, like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it became such a, like, it's crazy how AGG just desensitizes you because it becomes this thing where it's so normal to click on a link and just see a nigga with their dick out that you don't even flinch. You just you don't even flinch, bro. You just look at that shit and you just like, oh well, goddamn, another day, and you just move on with your day. That was the life of an NGG player.
You just open your laptop, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna role play today. Just log onto the NGG website just to see the current affairs. What would you know? You've got Billy Joe with his dick out.
Another nigga selling dick for admin. Another nigga selling dick for admin. What?
It's just like, oh well, there goes another one.
Hell no, bro.
Like it was a common thing, like that change did happen. Yeah. So yeah, all these allegations about him being a pedophile, yeah, completely justified. Completely.
Fact.
Like,
no, like
we're not just talking about guys, we're talking about little girls.
But right? No, even in my own gang, I have confirmed instances of people within BHT. I used to do a lot of fucked up shit in BHT too on the low. I don't know if you remember, I was trying to train up some players to become admin. I was talking to Jacob about this because I knew I could never get it. You were one of them. You were one of the people who I thought could get it. I was like, all right, this nigga lays, get admin, he fuck with Yasui, and goddamn get a nigga off the hook. Because I knew it was just a matter of time before they banned me. Like, I was talking about this in my live stream. I used to hack like all this shit. Like, I don't think I was ever honest with you guys on how much I used to hack. Like, y'all knew I was hacking. And I think I lied to some of y'all about it. Other ones I was on. Did I lie to you about hacking?
You know what you did? Like, you never confirmed it. Like, eventually to me, you'd be like, yeah, I'm hacking. Like, eventually, yeah. But, like, it took you time. But, like, you would always play with the idea. You know what I mean? You never confirmed.
It's because I was slot holder. That's why.
Yeah.
It's because I was slot holder.
In the early days, like, you gotta start about trust with people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I was slot holder at the time, and I used to hack so hard, bro. Like, I remember toggling hacks. Like, I remember running around. Like, I'd be scared all the time. I'd be in shootouts. I'd be like, hold up. I'm not finna. What was the thing for me was because of what happened to BHT happened, I did not want people to see BHT as a weak gang.
Yeah.
I felt like people was gonna think BHT was soft. So I tried extra hard to make that impression that no nigga, we is not soft. We is harder than we've ever been. That's what I wanted it to make it seem like. BHT is harder than it's ever been. We not soft. Ain't nothing sweet over here. And we gonna fuck you up. So if a nigga try, like, I was scared that a nigga would kill me in game and clown me like, look at this new slot holder BHT. He's sorry as fuck. We just ran up on him and squeezed the trigger and he was dead. So you know what I did? I installed hacks. And I installed a whole lot of hacks, boy. Like, running hacks. I basically tried to find ways to creep around and make my nigga invincible, boy. And I was running around the server for years. For not a year, but like, it was how long I was running for? Like a good year and a half, maybe 2 years as slot holder.
Yeah.
With no strikes, hacking blatantly against admins, against everybody, and nobody ever caught me. I was never caught.
It wasn't even just you as well. It was like Smokey.
No, Smokey never hacked. Smokey was never hacking.
He'd have 10 FPS.
Yeah, he did like little things like that. Like I give that much to Smokey. Smokey never, I think he probably played around with maybe like a chaos run or some shit, but he was never into the hardcore shit, like the health hacks, the aimbot. He was never into that. I can confirm that. Niggas think that Smokey was on that shit. I can confirm Smokey. I used to try to give Smokey hacks, and he was like, nah, bro, I ain't trying to do that.
Nah, well, everyone hacked back then though. Like ZX was so huge. Like I was always one of the people who was like, I'm not gonna do it. I couldn't bite my tongue and like do it, but everyone was doing it. Like it was so common.
Yeah.
On the bench, like Sprung Guard came out in like Tizeng, Way's little generation.
Yeah.
Like, there was always something going about it. There was never like a
legit
time where everyone was legit, and there still isn't to this day. Like it's a mod at the end of the day. There's gonna be flaws with the game.
Hell no.
Yeah.
That's crazy. None of them is never like really legit. Like I noticed that too. Like the server was never, but really, it's really an error. People gotta pinpoint when did the era of hacking begin? Because NGG never used to be like that. All right. When I say NGG never used to be like that, you never had the main players like we talking level 21s with hundreds of millions in their bank account hacking. Of course, you had new like low level ones, level twos and shit log on and hacking and seeing how long they could hack and get away with it. You feel me? But you never had a point in time in NGG where pretty much all of the main players in the server, including admins and shit like that, are all hacking. Like we were all as a collective group hacking, factions, gang. Can we admit this shit? Because I feel like there's certain people who they want to keep that image clean, and to this day they probably would never admit that they was hacking. Like Semi Mofu John.
Semi, you're right.
Yeah.
No, but you're right, but you're not right. Because I can honestly put I can genuinely. You gotta believe me. Like I've got.
No, I believe you weren't. Honestly, Lay, I'll give you that much. I believe you never hacked. I believe that.
Chaos Run. I installed Chaos Run. So
I know you did some small shit, but I know you never did no big. Like I know you never aimbotted. I know you maybe fucked around with ZX once, but you never ran with that shit. You never ran ZX before?
Nah, never, bro.
Okay, fair enough.
No, you know what? I did when BHT wasn't a thing anymore. Like after 2014 when it was suspended. When ZX just started the end.
But you never did it as leader or anything.
No,
fair enough.
No, never.
Fair enough. I believe that though. I totally believe that. But what I'm saying is you have some motherfuckers who's running around here, and I think Semi Mofujan is one of them. He don't seem like one who will ever admit that he had.
Yeah, his pride's too big, probably.
No, Depio admitted that shit. Depio was a different case though. Depio was never Depio never really gave a fuck. He never really gave a fuck. He just wanted to keep a clean image, but he knew he hacked at some point. I don't know. That shit was that whole thing.
I thought Muffajuns were terrible for that shit. Do you remember Dula?
Someone in chat said, I wasn't even paying attention to the stream. Someone said Lay cheated since day one.
No, that's
some troll.
Do you remember? You know the last slot holder of BHT?
Who?
Shinobi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, Fueled Fire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, isn't his name Houston or some shit in game?
Yeah.
Somebody was asking about you earlier, yo. I don't know if you still watching the stream, Houston or whatever. Someone was asking, why did I give you slot holder? Lady, you remember that situation? I don't remember giving him slot holder.
No, Houston came from Way's generation. So Way got slot, which was a really strong PhD. I'm not going to discredit Way at all. Way's slot was that was really good.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember giving Way credit for that. That he held one of the. Now I remember Way held the best generation of triads post Wu Ming and everyone.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I don't know. 2012 for me was always special, but now Way definitely.
Yeah.
Like 2013 can fuck off. Like 2012 and early 2014 was the shit.
Yeah, he held a very strong triads, but I remember the server ran him off with all the gay shit they was on.
Oh yeah, massive. But you remember Way was a controversial figure as well. He was kind of like you. Do you remember the Lewis video?
Oh yeah, he was involved in some little shit like that.
Yeah, he got Lewis to just jack off. There and then just recording that shit. Honestly, telling you, that exposure of Lewis, like
that was one of the.
I think that's the biggest of them all.
That one is underrated too, because niggas don't even talk about that one that much.
Nah, they don't.
But that was a big expose. Like he came, me and Way sat in the Team Speak channel, and we coordinated the shit, bro. We said I remember it. Way said he's gonna make an alt account, and I was talking to him about it. I remember him scheming on it. He's like, I'm gonna make an alt account, and I'm gonna go send Devin some dick pics to his email. Lou, he said, I'm about to go send some dick pics. And then Lou
he got like a video of like a camp guy like jacking off, right?
Yeah.
He got a
fake video. Yeah.
Yeah. And Lewis was like pushing actually all day, and it's like he was giving it like, while he was talking. It was like but that's what happened.
Yeah, I remember.
And like the reaction at the end is so great because like I can't find the video now. I remember talking away about it, and he said it's like you'd have to
I'm pretty sure I have that shit. I have a big hard drive.
Well, if you could fish out,
I have an external hard drive with a whole bunch of NGG shit on there. I could fish all types of shit off of there.
Like at the end, like I remember Lewis's reaction because Sal laughed and Lewis heard the laugh through the mic. So like he picked it up there and then, and Lewis's reaction was like he was like, "Oh shit, you're fucking done." Like he was threatened. He was like,
"That nigga, hold on, that nigga was sitting there jacking off, bro." I remember that shit. This nigga Lewis was sitting there jacking off. Boy, I remember they tried to say he tried to say it wasn't him, that they had a fake Lewis.
He was like, "Oh, that wasn't me. That's not me. That's fake."
This man was all right. So this is an executive.
Distinctive British accent.
All right, guys. This is an executive administrator of Next Generation Gaming jacking off to an alleged 16-year-old kid. But like this happened right in my gang, in my own gang, on my TeamSpeak server. They sat there and coordinated the shit. It was like, okay, we gonna send him pictures. The guy wasn't really 16, by the way, but they allegedly the guy in the pictures wasn't sick. It was basically like some what's that show where they be catching To Catch a Predator. It was basically some To Catch a Predator shit.
Yeah.
They had a false we had a false person who we said was 16 who wasn't really 16. And we sent these dick pics to Lewis, and Lewis thought it was hot that he was getting dick pics from a 16-year-old boy. So he was like, all right, come on, Skype with me and everything. I'm gonna give you server moderator. So you know what they did on Skype? This man is jerking off. He heard the laugh. He heard niggas laughing in the background on TeamSpeak, laughing at his ass on Skype, jacking off, boy. And this nigga here, boy. I can't believe I forgot about that shit. But when you refresh my memory, I remember the entire situation. Like that shit was crazy.
I'll never forget that because it was just like it was huge at the time. That's not even what they got back for. Like,
yeah, they didn't. I don't think they ever found out that was connected to Wade. Because I remember. I remember. I took the fall for that one. I don't know if you remember, but when I told them I was the one who did it because they was about to find out that Wade did it, and I remember I'm the one who did that. So I took the blame for that to save Wade, of course, because he was the slot holder, and I was already banned. If they found out Wade did that shit, they would have banned him.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, I did it.
He never took the fall for that. You did, but he eventually got like back to something else. I can't even remember what. Either way, that was yeah.
And that man disappeared too. Normally, players don't just disappear like that. They at least try to.
I still talk to him.
No, I'm saying they try to at least make some kind of return to NGG. That nigga disappeared off the face of the earth.
Oh yeah, nah, he had no interest.
That nigga said, "Fuck this shit, boy. Get over here." Trying to get. Yeah. Hell no. Another player who I could say, I could honestly say, I don't think they hacked for majority. I'm not gonna say ever. I'm gonna say I don't think they hacked for majority of their NGG career. Is Jamal Devil. My biggest rival for my entire run of being in a leader of triads, my biggest personal rival was Jamal Devil.
Yeah. I couldn't call it because I don't know, I can't really remember.
It's so hard to say which gang was stronger at the time because we was both so strong. Grove and BHT was like on top. But I really think we had them by a little bit.
I think like gangs we're gonna give credit for back then is like Grove, ourselves, and NBC, like mostly.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, like you could talk about BBS, but in my opinion,
BBS was already dead at the time. They era passed.
Yeah. After the HRP, like Horizon, they kind of like they was falling off a little bit. Like they was on and off. They didn't really like hold a consistent stronghold. Like they just weren't that strong. Yeah. But like that like trio, like NBC, Grove, and BHD, like we was strong for like ages.
Yeah. But NBC was an unofficial gang for a long time. I remember that. They were unofficial for a long time because they were official, then they got disbanded and they kept operating unofficially, which was the beautiful thing about. I got to give them a lot of credit for that. To be able to operate as an unofficial gang for so long and keep those loyal members is ridiculous. They really did their thing for that. I couldn't fathom the idea of running unofficially like BHT. I think they banned me for one. I don't know. I don't remember how that went down. They banned my ass.
Thing is with NBC is like, yeah, you're right. Like they like when they were unofficial, they were still mad names. Like it felt like they were unofficial. I'd give credit for that too. But I think Semi had like a massive following.
Hey,
Semi had a huge following.
What's the first thing I got banned for?
People just gravitating towards.
Hey, you remember the first situation where I got banned?
Well,
you remember the first situation where I got banned?
Nah, you'll have to refresh my memory.
Cause I don't remember. I'm trying to remember this shit. Fuck. What did I get banned for? Like the first time I got banned, what was I banned for? And BHT. Remember the first time BHT got disbanded?
Yeah, that was I remember it. It was October 2012.
What the fuck? This nigga said October 2012. BHT got disbanded.
Yeah, I just remember because I don't know why. It just resonates with me quite well because I remember like the whole thing. I remember we got disbanded. It was one of Mortaz's friends who like fucked around with hack crates.
So it was the gayest shit ever.
Yeah, like we got framed. Like that's what happened.
Yeah, they didn't even have nothing legit. Like I remember just logging in and they was like, "Oh, one of your rank 5s hacked a crate," and I was like, "What?"
He wasn't rank 5. What happened was he beat the crates back to the club, and like our rank 1s were just like fucking free guns. You know what I mean? They'd just be taking the guns from the crate, like because they didn't know any better. So like he just abused the fact that like these low level players don't have the next ID and they don't really know, you know.
Yeah, they said it was some kind of operation where we were TPing crates to ourselves because I thought that shit was. I wasn't even online at the time. I just logged on to some bullshit. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Are y'all serious? So you telling me somebody who y'all don't even know? I was like, so who's the rank 5? Because I couldn't think of. I was literally going down my rank 5 list, like who could be this stupid. First person I thought
think
was
the guy
Smokey.
had the name like Lay underscore something. Like I think I did.
Yeah.
Remember I think he was me, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, I think he was posing as you, and he said they was like Lay. I remember them saying something like Lay, and I was like, Lay? The fuck? I remember my reaction to that
if
was
it
like,
was me, like I would have been mad, but I wasn't. So like it was so weird. Like it felt so organized. It felt so crooked.
Yeah, it was a very crooked move on I don't know which admins who was involved, but someone wanted BHT gone. Someone who was on the admin team. I don't know who it was, but they legitimately framed us. They legitimately logged on to some RP account, did some fuck shit, TP'd some crates, and said some rank 5, in which they couldn't tell us which rank 5 it was. I remember keep asking, like, okay, who did it? Who was it? And they was like, I don't know who it was. And then when they finally told me, they was like, oh, it's Lay. I'm like, first of all, he's not ranked 5, he ranked 6. And no, it wasn't fucking Lay.
Yeah, like,
it was just
I wouldn't even be smart enough to do that. The fun.
It was just such a organized, like, I'm like, first of all, I know my gang, and no one is that smart that they're gonna log on all with like this alternate IP, doing all this crooked shit. Like, nah, bro.
Yeah. I was happy though, like, well, I wasn't happy, don't get me wrong. Like, after that, I joined Grove. Like, all of BHG could join Grove. Grove was hella deep, but then the BHG came back, and what made me happy about it was, remember when we came back, we got like slot 12 or something, and we were like, nah, we want slot 6. So we were like, okay, we give you slot 6. Like, it just, they did everything we wanted sort of thing when we came back. We got our slot back.
Why did we come back, and who was the slot holder when we came back?
I actually don't know how the fuck we actually got back as a gang. Like, how did that happen? Because usually when you disband, like, that's it. Like,
yeah.
you got. But, like, we came back. I remember, you bought the club back, do you remember? You bought the club back from Tim Boss.
I remember having to dish out a lot of money for that whole situation.
Yeah. Like, people donated. Like, I think I donated, like,
10. Okay. Here's one old NGG fact about Yusui Chaos that I wanted to bring to the table. There's a lot of shit that I hid. This is one of them. I don't know if you knew, but I had my hands on a dupe.
A what?
A private dupe.
What's that?
Like, I could duplicate money and materials, all types of shit, and anything I wanted in NGG.
Yeah, I wondered how you were so fucking rich.
Cars, money, materials, everything. Anything, anytime I wanted, and no one knew about it. Like, no one knew the method that I knew to dupe. I was the only one doing that shit. The house method, there was a couple duping methods out. The house method got patched. I've used that, and David took all my money that I got from duping via the house method. I did that, and then I found my own private dupe. I had a couple private dupes. I found my own private dupe though, and I duped with that for a long time. I didn't dupe any money, because anytime I would duplicate money, duping money is one of the worst things you could do, because the admins, they had a list. They on the SQL database, they could sort player counts by the amount of money that they have. So if they see some random fucking player count shoots up to the top 10 most wealthy players overnight, admins are going to be like, what the fuck? You feel me? And they're going to investigate your account. So the only successful way to duplicate money on NGG was either to duplicate it and transfer your wealth to items really fast, like cars and shit, and islands, and then sell that shit back for the bread. Then when they say, oh, how'd you get this bread? Oh, you could show them, oh, I sold this island, I sold this house, I sold this, and did that. Usually they don't look into it any further from there. They're like, okay, you sold a house. All right, that's how you got the bread. Boom. I remember I duped a bunch of LVPDs. I'm really the reason why there was only 3 or 4 LVPDs on the server before I started duping them. and I bought one. I got my hands on one for like, what was it, like 60 mil or some shit? Because I duplicated the money and I bought that shit instantly because I ain't want them. I actually set up the trade before I even duped the money. So the second I duped it, ran to the bank, bought the LVPD. I duped the LVPD. It was an account dupe. I had to be on 2 accounts at the same time. And basically, I had a way of where I had a Clio that could force no save one of my accounts. So then I could transfer money to the next account, log off and back on my other account and still have the bread or whatever item it was. So I remember I ran there, I duped the LVPD, I bought the LVPD, duped that a couple times and sold the duped LVPDs, bought some other shit, sold it. Yo, you lagging? Oh. Can you hear me? Hold on. Yo.
All right, I can hear
you. Yeah. But yeah, hell yeah. I basically, that's why I said Edgy G is a microcosm of real life. I will keep saying this because what I was doing, and I didn't even know this at the time, but if you think about it, what I was doing was what is the official term for it? Is a term that they call it. What's it called when you clean up dirty bread, like dirty money?
Money laundering.
Yeah, I was money laundering at the age of 14, 15. I'm sitting here money laundering. I don't know that I'm money laundering. This is literally what I'm doing. I'm thinking like, okay, I gotta clean up this hacked bread. How do I clean this shit up?
Yo, that's actually mad, you know, you didn't even know you were money laundering. You didn't know like you were doing it. Like you had that idea.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking funny.
Hell yeah, I was like, I gotta clean this shit up before the admins catch me. That shit was funny, boy. Hell yeah. I had stopped duping though. I was just like, it was no point because once you have over like 300 mil or whatever, you cap your paycheck anyway. I had over 300 mil in pretty much every restricted vehicle I wanted. So I was like, fuck it, ain't no point of doing this shit no more. I was gonna dupe one last time just to buy Plat VIP, but I was like, let me not be greedy and get my ass banned. David took money from me 3 times. He took like 500 mil once. He took like 600 mil. He took money because he couldn't prove how he literally would drag me into the channel and be like, Yasui, I know you hacked this shit. I know you did something to get this money, but I can't find what you did. So I'm going to just take it. That was his reasoning.
You were money laundering.
I'm skating around it. He skated around it. He had a way in which he would tell me, but basically a gist, like to wrap up everything he would say, and we'll be talking for an hour. And to wrap it all up, he'd be like, basically it was fucking, I know you hacked the shit. I don't know how to prove it, so I'm gonna take your bread.
I mean, fair enough. At least you're not getting banned.
Hell no. Yeah. Nah, but David was cool though. He was one of the ones who gave me some leeway. Like he knew I was it was a couple admins who knew I was hacking and tried to save me. David is one of them. Royston is another one. I remember Royston.
Oh my god, that's right there. Jesus, I
remember that now. Royston caught me blatantly red-handed toggling hacks in gunfight one time. And he whispered to me and he said, he said, turn off. That's what he said. He said, turn off. I didn't turn off. I kept running with that shit. And then I get banned from some other admin. I forgot what admin it was. But it was funny because he whispered, this nigga's an EA. I'm not cool with this nigga. He has no reason to be trying to save me. And he literally whispers to me and says, that's why I think it's kind of weird. Like,
maybe because he couldn't prove it. Like maybe he was just trying to like spark fear in you, like, oh shit, yeah, watch. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
this is where I was about to get with this is like I felt like I resonated with like players. I feel like a lot of players like me for some reason. A lot of players like me, thought I was cool and shit. So he was just trying to fuck with me. He was just trying to like save me from getting banned. You feel me? But I was
I don't
just.
know, 'cause he was like NBC at the time. Like we didn't like NBC and BHD didn't really get along.
He was an EA though. He wasn't no regular run of the mill admin at the time.
Yeah, true.
EA back then. I know EA became watered down over the years. Like now, before.
Really like
yeah, EA's weren't really shit prior to them.
Like if you were an EA, you were in the EA gang. You weren't in the FBC gang.
You were that nigga. You was basically the top head of NGG. Like the EA's back then was really the niggas. And I had an EA little Angel Guardian, bro. I had a couple Angel Guardians. Sag was one of them too. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I remember Sag.
He was a BHT Angel. Like he was a guardian for BHT. Saved us from countless times of almost getting disbanded. By saving me from strikes.
From him at the point, and he'd get really annoyed.
Oh yeah, we'd have him lag cap points for us. As a head admin, this nigga used to get on his RP account and blatantly lag cap points. His head admin. Yeah. This motherfucker was probably the coolest admin I ever known. Like this nigga was like he was just on some fucking shit. He was just like, all right, you about to go to Point Yasui? I'd be like, yeah. He'll hop on. He'll be like, hey, give me rank 5, bro. I'd be like, what is this head admin doing? Like, I don't know. I met Sang as a head admin. So I always thought he was trying to infiltrate my gang to see like what we was on. But then he would be on some old goofy shit. I'd give him rank 5 and then he'll be hacking and lag capping a point and being like, hold on, let me get on this little potato PC I got you, Yasui. And he'll relog onto this little piece of shit computer. Then you'll just see his character teleporting everywhere. That's when you knew a nigga was lagging, when they're teleporting in one spot.
Yeah.
Nigga just started teleporting. I was like, fuck.
Man, like, just all this talk, like, it's just so nostalgic. Like, NGG was my fucking, like, it was my life for, like, a long time.
Hell yeah. Like, I know it had to be your life because I came to the conclusion that the younger you are, the more of an impression that NGG has on you. And you was one of the youngest triads at the time.
I was 13.
Yeah, you was like, you was the little nigga we
ranked 6 when I was 14, so. I was quite young. I remember.
This nigga was a 14-year-old slot holder, boy.
Yeah, I was a little
fresh out the womb, boy. We used to clown you too. We used to be like, "What you were born in 2000? What year you born in?" Like,
yeah, people would say I'm like 10 years old. I used to get really wound up.
He used to clown your ass, boy.
Yeah, I didn't like to talk back then either.
This nigga was a 14-year-old slot holder, boy.
Yeah, I was slot holder when I was 14. It's mad because I look at my cousin. My cousin's 14. I can't imagine him doing the shit I did on the internet. Fuck that. That's not dick pics.
You know what? It's so crazy because this is why I say we got to get together because I can never explain to anyone. Like, I find it so lame trying to explain to, like, even my girlfriend. At some point in my head, in the back of my head, every girl I'm with, I feel like I have an obligation to explain NGG to them. Like,
it was clearly a big part of your life.
Right. So I'm like, shit, I gotta tell this person because I feel like if I tell them about this gaming community that I was involved in, they will understand a little bit more about my life and who I am.
Yeah.
And it's so cheesy because it's like, they really don't give a fuck. If I'm sitting here and open up files showing a girl screenshots of me running around, I would never do that because they probably just gonna look at me crazy and not really give a fuck. Yeah. And think it's goofy that I'm, was running around on a video game like that. But that's why I kind of skate around the subject now. I don't tell nobody, but I remember having to deal with that. Like my first couple girlfriends, I always had to figure out a way to fit NGG into our relationship or tell them about NGG?
I've never really had that. I don't know. NGG to me is that's my past. I don't gotta involve anyone else. Well, I remember what you said in your stream before. It's how you say oh, this shit I did in BHT. I feel like I could put this on my resume, on my CV, and I feel the same. I'm like that's crazy. How I would log in game, and there would be when we was at most active, there would be 20 to 30 members online. And I came in, and I would have to deal with people what they wanted, or I'd have to gather them all up, get them to listen to me or whatever. And
right.
For me, that was leadership quality.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
Back, and I'm I was a fucking good leader, and I'm trying I transfer that to what I do in real life now as well, a little bit.
Because you're leading something. It doesn't matter. People they like to undermine it because it's a video game. I get it. But you're still leading a group of human beings. It doesn't matter what the medium is that gets y'all together, that gets you there to that point of where you're leading them. But for some reason, you are leading these other human beings who are scattered around the world. This person's in fucking Pakistan, and Smokey's somewhere in Albania, and this person is here and this person's there, and you're in the UK and I'm in the US, and we all got to get together and figure out, that's leadership. Yeah, it is. There's no, you can't convince me it's not. You can't.
No, I agree.
Yes. You damn right. I don't put BHT on my resume now.
No, I don't. But for me, if I'm putting anything down, if I'm talking about personal quality, I'd fucking say leadership, easy. Period.
Yeah.
I could fucking lead. I know I could. I could do it in real life anyway. I did it in school. I do it now.
Yeah.
I take that role because I feel like I'm naturally good at it, and I feel like BHT only enhanced that for me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That gave me the confidence. BHT gave me mad confidence. I'm not gonna lie. With shit like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because even in my real life, when they made me a lead at my old job, I used to always find myself thinking not necessarily what would Yusui do, but it always resonated in a way to be. I always would find myself in situations where I'm talking to someone and think about, because I'm a lead, so I got to teach people this or do that. Or reprimand someone. I hate to do that. That's one of the worst things I hate to do. But one of the employees acting crazy, I got to do something about it. You feel me? It always resonates with me like BHT.
Yeah,
I get thinking about BHT. Oh, I know you wouldn't, because you was the person I would toss a lot of that shit to. I hated having to kick people out the gang. I remember that. I used to hate to have to kick people out the gang and shit like that. That shit, I hated that shit.
There was so many fucking.
It's mainly because I didn't want to lose members. I did not want to lose members or be seen like some kind of dick or douche. So I just kind of be that's why I try to make everything so political. Okay, all right, guys, I'm thinking about kicking this guy. What do y'all think? You feel me? So no one could just say, "Oh, Yusui just did this." You feel me?
Yeah.
Even a rank 1, it would be rare for me to kick a rank. I remember going on the forums and posting up a thing in the R5 section, "Yo, this R1 is possibly hacking. What do y'all think?" Or this rank.
Do you remember when we had the I wish you do you actually? I mean, this is asking a lot, but do you still have the old forum? I miss that shit.
Yeah, I still have it. I still have the database.
Man, that's crazy because there is so much on there that I'd love to see. Because
I'm gonna see what I could do with it. I'm gonna see
it might, you don't have to. It costs money. You're not gonna spend money just for nostalgia. You don't have to do that.
Oh no. It don't even matter. Set up a website is only $1 or some shit. I'll put that shit up.
Yeah, that'd be crazy to look at it because there's just so much shit in there that it blows my mind because the farm, I would all I'd go to school on the morning, right? I'd get on the bus and I'd be on my phone, my little iPhone 4 that I had for like 5 years, and I would be on like ngrpphd.com. I'd always be on it, just posting. I'd be making topics. I'd be posting on the school bus every morning, bro.
I remember that. You was on that bit on that forum heavy too. And I used to really like it. It was so surreal to me. What NGG did was a lot of times I used to like to just sit back and watch what I created, like the chaoses and shit. I enjoy watching those videos on YouTube so much because in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck, I made this shit. I didn't even think that I didn't think that shit was gonna go that far when I made it, but I'm like, look at these niggas. They really out here running around like
Chaos like a big name, shit. You know, it became quite big. Like people who are Chaoses to this day, you don't even know. You know, it's like
it was feared, bro.
Everyone like gravitates.
Like Chaos was really feared in game. Like apparently they became really strong. Like
competition got weaker though as the years went on. That's no disrespect, but I think one of the like the catalysts for NGG's downfalls is you were talking about it earlier. It's like yourself, me, Jamal, Semi, I don't know, Freeman, anyone you could think of who pops in your head. They all fucked up. They were done. Like these guys were gone, and there was no one to replace them. There was no big names to replace these people. People didn't have leaders in NGG anymore. It was a free for all. That's what it became. And when the NGG we played was very structured. You know, there was big players in the game. Like,
you had your Richard Baines, your like big heavy hitters, your big names, bro. You had household names of NGG players like Nicholas Harm, like players that you would, when you think of NGG, these are the first players that come to mind. Your household names, bro. And when you go on and you start banning these people, you gotta understand that behind all of these household names, we're talking there's 100 players that stand behind these household names. So Richard Vane, you fuck around, you ban Richard Vane, there's 100 players behind him. Oh, fuck? You're not about to just ban Richard Vane? Like, what the fuck? You feel me? And they get salty. So even if they continue to go on through the NGG community, they always gonna have that salt in the back of their head is, yo, you banned my nigga from way back.
People click up with other players. Like people make friends. And what happens is, when you start banning those players, those friends go with, look at the Warring Hall. The Warring Hall is a prime example.
They all know.
Was known for fucking about, but they had a following. And like that shit, like, I mean, it's not a sizable following, don't get me wrong, but it's still players that you've lost.
Right.
In truth. So
you got your Wu Mings and shit like that.
Yeah, of course. Like these are
like
my godmother.
Oh.
But yeah, like yo, that's mad. Do you remember when Horizon the whole move was happening?
Yeah.
Like December, we're talking New Year this time. Like January 1st.
That's the only time period I can recall because I remember it being around Christmas time. And actually, when I heard about it, I even know where I was when I heard about the move. I was at Joshi's house, and I was playing like the PS4. I was playing like the PlayStation or something at Jalen's house, and he was on his computer on TeamSpeak for some reason. And he looked at me and he was like, yo, everyone's finna leave the gang and go to another server. I'm like, what the fuck? So I kind of run home. I run across the street to my computer because I live right across the street from Joshi. I literally run across the street, hop on TeamSpeak. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And they talking about leaving and everything. And you go on to what you was gonna say about it?
I remember, like, I remember where I was. I was in I walked in. I saw Harry get banned, Harry Mazzaro, and when the Horizon opened, I went there. I was like, right, I'm gonna go with these guys. Like, I genuinely was. and I was trying to convince Andre. Do you remember Andre Cray?
Yeah.
Because me and Andre were tight. Like he was my buddy. Like he was my NGG buddy.
Yeah.
Well, like we were quite tight. And I love the guy. I still love him to this day.
Yeah.
You know? And like he was like, "No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Horizon. I want to stay on NGG because I've got my friends here. He had Dan, Dan Cray,
right,
Bill, and like I was like, oh fuck, man, I think Horizon's gonna be really good. But I stayed in NGG for Andre and like the Crays. That's why I stayed. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. In my opinion, like I don't think that would have happened, and things could have been a lot different for me, which is crazy. Like I was ready to go. Like I was ready to go to Horizon because like BHT was going there, and I felt like the BHT on NGG was just like gonna die. And obviously, the old BHT were filling you with that propaganda, like come with us, the real BHT's going to Horizon. Whoever stays is a traitor. Do you know what I mean? And when like that sounds stupid as fuck now. Like you're kind of like, who the fuck cares? Shut the fuck up, you sack cunt. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Then, when you're 14 and you're hearing like, oh, you're a traitor. I don't know. Like that shit was
that shit resonated with me too. It made me feel I felt bad because when that whole Horizon situation, like, I don't know, I felt like a traitor because I was, all right, this is my run with, this is what I want the Horizon. I don't know if anyone over from Horizon will ever listen to this shit, but this is what I want them to understand about this whole situation. I had no animosity towards Horizon RP. They felt like Yasui Chaos was scheming or some shit for slot holder or anything. You got to understand that I ran on NGG up under multiple different names. Kane Stan, I could go way back to 2008, my nigga, of when I'm running around on SART under the name Kane Stanfield. You feel me? Under my real life name, Akeem Anderson. There was a point of time where I was on the role play service up under my real life name. Then I had Austin Anderson as an alt. Then I had many different alts and shit. And I've been banned or whatever the fuck happened. All the time I'd always get caught up in situations where I'm getting banned or something. Anyway, Yasui Chaos now was one of the most successful characters I had on NGG at that time. And I was like, shit, this is the character. I've never made it past like level 10. Anytime I'd get to like level 10, I'd get banned or some shit. But Yasui Chaos is the first account I had on NGG that made it to level 21. So I made it. And these niggas was trying to get me over there I was like, shit, I finally got a solid account over here. And then these niggas was I joined BHT and I was in BHT for a while. I had friends and everything. Wu Ming and none of those guys remembered me because I was in BHT long ago. I basically left BHT because there was this hoe in BHT at the time named Claudia Ski. This bitch was like, you know how little kids were about females and shit like that back then. She was untouchable. She was untouchable. She did whatever the fuck she wanted to do. And she did some fuck shit to me one day. And I tried to report her to Wu Ming and them, and they did nothing about it. So I left the gang. I think I kind of left the whole circle. I was like, fuck this shit, bro. I left the gang. And years later, after I heard that, I mean, not years later, but I think like a year and some change later, after I came back up under a different name, came back to NGG, I heard that she was gone. So I rejoined BHT. Boom. They made me like a rank 2 or a rank 3 or whatever. Then a little situation happened. And they was like, oh, I got to come with them and everything. And they really fucked with me. I was one of their most active lower rank members on TeamSpeak and everything. So they was fucking with me. They was like, yo, you got to come to HRP with us and everything. And I was going to go.
Yeah.
I was going to go, but
that's crazy.
Shit popped off. Them leaving, honestly, playing field for me on GG that I've never had before that I kind of wanted. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to be a slot holder. I wanted to try it out.
You wanted to experience.
And they threw it in my hands. So it was either I go to HRP as a level 1 with nothing, no money, no materials, no clout, basically starting over. After I finally got a character level 21, I finally built a nigga up who I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna play this character for a while. Finally built it. Now they just wanted me to run off again, ditch my character to go off to this new server. They wasn't giving me any kind of rank in BHT, no nothing. Only thing I would have went to BHT as a rank 2, I think, because I got D ranked or some shit. I would have went to BHT as a rank 2 with no money on my account, no bread, no nothing. Have to start a whole new character. Is that reasonable? And then y'all call me a traitor if I don't come follow y'all. I was like, bro, what the fuck? That part I ain't like. I felt like they was trying to, and then so I got leader of triads, and apparently they expected me to disband. They expected me to do some fuck shit and disband. I was like, if I do that, all they're gonna do is give it to the next guy, just like they did to each and every one of y'all who, because I think Slot.
They weren't disbanding it. That's the thing.
Slot went to like.
Realize is that Devin was serious. Like he was like, I'm not disbanding BHT. It's
yeah.
not.
Some random fuck who had no at least what the folks over at HRP should give me some credit for is that I went to their forums and I stole everything, bro. They banned me off their forums. I made an alternate account just so I could log on to their BHT forums and take as much as I could, like all the structures of the topics and everything, because I wanted to try as hard to keep BHT what it was. Because I was in BHT a long time. Even though I never had no significant rank, they can't play me like I wasn't in BHT since the beginning. I was in BHT pre-Wu Ming era for pretty much every era, even Zhao, when Zhao was the leader. I remember Dion Fa and Jian Fa. Who remembers that? Nobody. I have screenshots of me standing next to these players, yo. We talking ancient motherfuckers. They probably dead now.
Yeah, that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah, this is 10 years. This is 10 fucking years ago, bro. This is today. That would be 10 years ago. I'm standing next to Dion Fa. So I had BHT. I just never had the clout, but I never had the rank. But I felt like at the time I was the most equipped to run it because I knew the history of BHT. I knew the history. Like I knew everything, all the leaders. I was there for most of that shit at the time. No one else in the server had as much knowledge of BHT as I did. That's good
because, like, imagine if we didn't have that, like it could have been a very different BHT.
Yeah, like, it could have been a mother.
I remember when Kurt Schaffer got the slot. You remember Kurt?
Yeah.
Kurt Schaffer?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he got the slot. And I don't know what happened. I can't remember. And I can't remember you getting the slot, to be honest. I didn't even know who you were when you got it. Like, I was a rank 2, like, when all this shit happened. You might have been, like, rank. I do remember you. You got demoted because you were, like, you had an argument with someone at the dojo just before this happened. So
right. Right. Exactly.
I remember this. You were rank 1. So I was like,
it was some real petty shit why I got D-ranked. It was some real, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was some real petty, like, I got into a little disagreement with a rank 5 or some shit, and they demoted me.
Yeah, I remember that, because I remember me and you got promoted.
Yeah.
I didn't really talk to you. I didn't know you well. I was just like, let's go, whatever. And I remember you got demoted. I was like, all right, whatever. And then you just the slot holder, and I was like, well, shit. this is our slot holder. I just had to run with it. And then eventually I was like, oh, okay, this guy's, I really appreciated you coming in because you just seem to know your shit. Like, I was actually quite impressed. So I just wanted to do my best to help out. So, like, and I just feel like we had such a solid team, like, after that.
Yeah, we really did.
Such a solid team.
I don't know if you remember those first mass recruitments I did, but I credit everything to those first couple recruitments I did. I had to think, why did BHT? It felt like after they left, BHT became even stronger. Did you feel that?
Yeah, like I remember playing, and I was like,
we was so deep and so strong, so. That shit sound crazy.
I was too focused on being a rank 5 because you gave me rank 5. I remember it was you and Tag were the rank 6s. Me and Trent were rank 5s. I don't know who else was rank 5. I remember Joe Lubu Lee was a rank 6 because he was sticking around.
Yeah. He was the only one from the old tribe. There was a couple old tribe. I was kind of waiting for them to die off too. I ain't gonna flex. Because I always felt like one of those old school tribes could come out of nowhere and snap slot holder from me.
Yeah.
So I think it was a couple of them who kind of stayed. I think Sheng Chow, he hanged on for a while as a rank 5. And then he disappeared. And Joe Lubu Lee was another one who hanged on for a while.
Right.
And then he disappeared. But I always remember being scared of Joe Lubu Lee, like, yo, this motherfucker's gonna come be on some. I knew he was colluding, he was fucking with the HRP niggas. And what I was scared of was that he was gonna, in cahoots with them. He was gonna be like, all right, I'm not really fucking with HRP. Give me slot holder. I was really ranked 6. They'd take it from me, give it to him. Then he'd do some fuck shit and disband it and go back to HRP. Yeah, that's how I thought it was gonna go.
Like that could have happened.
Yeah.
But it didn't. And eventually I remember you gave me rank 6 at Crack Club. You gave Trent rank 6. So it was like me, you, Tang, and Trent. And then like rank 5s were like Andre.
I remember that moment too, because I remember being so proud. I remember sitting behind my computer just looking like, I'm proud of these guys. Like, they really proved. I was always scared. Like, I was always scared that one of the rank 5s was gonna do some dumb shit. But y'all held it down. And I remember being proud. And when I gave y'all rank 6, it was like, yo, y'all really proved me wrong. Like, I thought that one of y'all was gonna do some dumb shit and get us a strike. But y'all proved me wrong. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give him rank 6 because I fuck with him. And y'all was really running the game too. I was just
Yo, you remember Image Shack? Like, I have an Image Shack, right? And it's a shame because none of these images load anymore. But I still remember my shit, like my account. As far as like,
I think I still have every screenshot from 2008 that I've taken. It's funny because the way SEP screenshots work is very easy to save those. They go up to 900, and anytime you hit 999 screenshots, you have to save your screenshots. So it kind of reminds you, oh shit, every time you take that screenshot, you know you're finna hit 999, and you got to back up your screenshots. So thank God, SEP, for having that feature of not being able to have unlimited screenshots. Because that kept me backing up my screenshots every time I hit 999. I had to back up my screenshot.
I think you should bring that far back up. That's all I'm saying.
I really want to release every video I have, every screenshot, everything.
Yeah, I do too.
I would love to.
Because I think everything's on the forum as well.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Simple Machine Forums thing. I would have to see what recent download they have, what the last version the forum was, and I'm pretty sure they have an easy conversion method of where I can kind of convert the forum over to their newest version of SMF. Hopefully, I don't have to do anything manual because usually, so many years like this, probably some of those features in that old SMF is dead, and I'd have to go through and manually update shit. That's why I never wanted to even try, but I'm gonna give it an attempt. Probably tonight. Just give me some time. Probably tonight I'm gonna see what I can do because I kind of wanted to see what was on the forum myself.
Yeah, that'd be dope. What's that site called where it's like you can check like what a website was like 3 years ago? You know what I mean? There was a website like that. You put in the URL and you could check what that website was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's hard for websites like ours or games.
It used to work though.
It did?
And you couldn't click on like topics and shit. You could just see the homepage.
Oh.
And you could see what was like in the shout box.
That's another thing I regret. I think I should have always kept that forum up for legacy purposes. And I tried to, but I remember I was really broke. I wasn't broke, but I had to get money from my mom at the time. I didn't have a job or nothing like that. So to keep the forum up, I I used to always have a problem maintaining that form because it was either it wasn't. I remember when I first started the forum, it was on a free like hosting service, and I don't know if you remember that free hosting service used to always have problems. Like the forums would constantly be down.
Yeah.
Then I had bought a hosting service. I was like, all right, I bought one, and then it was good for a couple months and everything. And then I was still paying for it for a while, but I think I forgot to pay one time and it shut down and literally lost a lot of the information and some shit. I was like, fuck that shit. I never put it back up since then.
Yeah, like it was an adult farm. Like it was insane.
Yeah, I think our form was really cool. Our form, we kind of branched off. I was talking about this a little bit too, how we really branched off and we did a lot of our own things. Like we're one of the gangs to start the trend of having our own TeamSpeak server. That became just the norm at a certain point of time. Gangs weren't really doing that. But after we did it, it was BBS and we did it. BBS started it. I'll give BBS that. They started it. We did it after BBS. And it was between us and BBS, all gangs just started doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like all gangs.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. I think I might go now play some FIFA or something because I've been waiting to play with my mates.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
So, but we should fucking get all the fucking old guys together and just have a chat about it. I'd love that. I think that'd be great.
Hell yeah, we gotta get Smokey, boy.
Yeah, we gotta get Smokey. Sharp. I recently spoke to Sharp as well on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like he's in New York now and shit. Like he's
Sharp?
really positive. Yeah, like I don't know.
Oh yeah, he got like a little girlfriend. I was talking to him the other day. Sharp got a girlfriend. He going to school for some programming shit. We was just talking about programming the other day, actually. He doing good.
Yeah, I like him. He's been a really good guy.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to him again.
Yeah, Sharp is good.
But yeah, like get some of trying to talk to people and shit like that.
Joshi good too.
Yeah, Joshi shit. God, I am fucking out. It's been so long.
Trent? You still talk to Trent?
Not really, but like I could if I wanted to. You know what I mean?
Oh, you have contact with him?
Yeah, I got contact.
Oh.
I got contact with Waterfall. Trent, like, is like he's still like.